It is that time of the week. I'm Joe, my brother, standing in 6'5", 236 pounds. Will is in the building. How we feeling?
Good, man.
Hey, so we both had Seattle in the Super Bowl. Did that game feel like you thought it was going to? Like, I think we were all pretty convinced Seattle was going to win the game. But did you feel like they were going to win that dominantly? Like, the score got a little closer at the end, but they pretty much dominated that game start to finish.
No, I felt it was going to be like that. We talked about the Seattle defense. Did all three of us have Seattle? I can't remember.
All three of us had Seattle.
Yeah, that defense is just ridiculous. So I think with the defense being what it was, and us kind of just like understanding what they were throughout the season, throughout the playoffs and things like that. I think that was what was expected.
Do you feel like, so obviously the criticism of the Patriots, or criticism of them this season, if you could have any, is that, oh, well, they had an easy schedule, and then you got Herbert in the playoffs round 1, and he's yet to have a good playoff game. CJ just imploded round 2, and then obviously Broncos on the back of quarterback round 3. Do you think it's fair to say that the fact when they finally got to Seattle, and Seattle was clearly the better team and whooped them, like, is that narrative then fair to keep on New England, that they kind of got here lucky because of the schedule and some of the situations they had in the playoffs?
I wouldn't say lucky. No, I think for sure as far as the easy schedule, I agree with that. But I think when you talk about the Chargers, like they just played who they had to play. And I mean, you can say that about every team, but I think the Broncos game is the game where I feel they got lucky. Like CJ has been up and down, throughout the season. These last 2 years, CJ hasn't really been consistent. So, I mean, that was another situation where, they also had a really good defense, but you got an inconsistent quarterback. Justin Herbert, you like to call him If Man, as you say.
They got it betting favorite to win the AFC West. If Man is on fire already. Like, offseason just started.
So, no, I'll say, like, the schedule was definitely easy. Like, I won't take away wins from the Chargers. Like, I won't take away from them beating the Chargers and the Texans because, they were beatable. Even though I think, what was the Texans' win streak this season? Did they win?
I think they got up to 9 and then 10 if you count the first playoff game against the Steelers.
Yeah, so 9. They have won their last 10 games or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I mean, I won't really discredit that, but I do think a healthy Bo Nix, they don't beat the Broncos.
It's unfortunate, and no one's gonna, like, I care right now, but in 5 years, I'm like, a lot of teams that lost, like, you're not gonna remember like an individual team like, oh, 5 years ago this happened, like, unless the only time.
And I mean, the more time go by, the less it matters. Like, even if it was a super relevant point today, like, it's already less relevant today than it was on Sunday.
Oh, 1,000%. Unless you are for like football specifically, there's like 2 losers we specifically remember, and that's the Bills because they went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost them all, and that's just like, damn. And is the 07 Patriots because they were undefeated and they had the greatest quarterback ever. So it's like, those are unique cases. Otherwise, like, don't nobody really remember, like, oh, who lost in the 97 NFC Championship game off the top of your head. Like,
yeah.
We just don't do it. This Seattle team, Tony brought up a really good point, which is Sam Darnold, by definition, you have to consider is in his prime. He's in the same class as Lamar. He's in the same class as Josh Allen. And so if Sam Darnold is in his prime athletically, he's got back-to-back seasons, 14 wins, 4,000 yards. This defense is crazy. Should Seattle be the clear favorite? Like, should they be the clear favorite heading into next season? Or do you think there's a team that should be ahead of them?
I won't say there's a team that should be ahead of them. I don't know if I'll say they should be the clear favorite, but I'm not against them being favored. I still like the Rams. Not saying that I'm picking them to go all the way next year, but I mean, even when you talk about a 49ers team who is going to probably be in a lot better position next year than they were this year, and these are teams that played the Seahawks pretty tough this season. Mm-hmm. Even though that I mean, we seen what we seen as far as the 49ers and the Seahawks in the playoffs, but
Yeah,
did they,
49ers had mad injuries.
yeah, so I mean, I think they should be favored though. Like I don't view them as a team to where it's like nobody stands a chance though. Is basically what I'm saying.
No, that's fair. I think they're gonna be really good. I think that defense is still now. They have a ton of cap space, but they do because they've knocked out they've had 4 really good drafts since the Russell Wilson trade, and so even though they have a lot of cap space, they're not actually bringing in a bunch of guys. They're more so just gonna be able to keep their core. Like they got to pay Charles Cross to left tackle. They're gonna have to pay Witherspoon. So it's like they have It's not really so much flexibility, but they're gonna be able to keep this core together. I don't think they're as overwhelming as Philly at the end of last season felt like, damn, they're just gonna run through people again because you had.
But that's because you felt like they were. That's because you felt like they were arguably the best on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely. And it's like they just smoked the Chiefs with the dynasty, and so that feels different than beating a second-year quarterback in Drake May. As great as a season as Drake had, beating Mahomes and dominating Mahomes in the Super Bowl is different than beating up Drake May. That being said, kind of peeking into next year, I want to focus on the NFC side first. Who in the NFC, off the top of your head, should be? Obviously, this year was considered, it was weird because the Lions, who were considered, people had as a top 2, top 3 team, they didn't make the playoffs. Your Bears were the 2 seed. The Packers still snuck in there because that's what they do. They get the 7 seed every single year. The Vikings took a jump back. Who should be the top 3 to 4 teams heading into next year for your way too early NFL predictions for the NFC?
See, I got Seattle in there. I do. Maybe I go top 5. So I got Seattle in there. I have the Rams in there. I think the 49ers will be in a pretty good spot, because they'll be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting the Bears in there. I mean, come on, second seed. Come on now. It's only up from here.
That's fair. Who's that last team you throw in that category?
Who am I thinking about? Maybe the Packers.
Yeah.
Because I think a healthy Micah is going to do a lot for them. Well, is he going to be back next year?
Yeah, he should be. So I think his timeline is he's not going to get a lot of. I don't think he can get any preseason run or training camp run, but he should technically be back for week 1. So he'll kind of start similar to this season where he didn't really have an OTA or a training camp because of the trade. He's basically going to be starting week 1, and that's going to be his preseason. But if he's good by week 4 or 5, they want him for the last stretch. Him, even if he starts slow, that's not going to matter too much. They just need him to stay healthy for the late stretch in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, let me see. I pulled up ESPN's power rankings. I just wanted to see what they were looking like. So they got Seattle as number 1. They got New England as number 2. I don't know what this Patriots team is going to do next year. And I know we didn't get to the AFC. Denver, Buffalo, San Francisco, Detroit, Philly. Yeah, I don't know. It's part of me want to find a way to put Philly in that top 5.
Philly's just tough because of the coaching. I fully believe Philly is as damn near as talented as anybody, but their lows are just really fucking low, and that part concerns me. And it never felt like it got fixed. Denver obviously had some really bad lows offensively the first half of the season, but that got better the second half, so you saw progress. Philly, it just felt like, yeah, you still one of the most talented teams in the league, but y'all never fixed this. You were still having halves where there was nothing going on.
Yeah, so Philly is tough. I think Philly could easily be in that 5. Do I want to keep? I don't know. I think for me, San Francisco, I think they stay in there. I think I keep San Fran in there for sure. So really, I think that last spot is a toss-up, but that last spot, I got the Bears in the top four for sure. So that last spot, whoever y'all want it to be.
No, that's valid.
Like
That's valid.
I think with the Bears being able to do what they did this season with the lack of defense, and like I said, we talked a lot about them kind of leading in takeaways, but also giving up a lot of yards, whether that's on the ground or through the air. They did a good job at taking the ball away. So I think if they can add some pieces to be able to stop the run a little bit better, be able to put pressure the quarterback a little bit quicker and things like that. I think that'll be a major difference, and I think the offense is going to be steadily improving.
No, it's valid. Yeah. I'll go over to the AFC then. To the AFC again, another year where it was the normal teams, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens. Obviously, the Bills still made the playoffs. Chiefs and Ravens did not. And then the three quote unquote new teams was Denver obviously was the 1 seed, New England was the 2, and Jacksonville was the 3. For the AFC, not so much picking who's the top 4 teams, but what do you think is more likely? That we go back to, like, this was an aberration year, and we go back to Chiefs, Ravens, Bills being and those are still the 3 best quarterbacks in the conference. I'm not saying these 3 teams have passed them, but we go back to that and them reclaiming their dominance. Or do you think it's more likely that Denver, New England, and Jacksonville are actually here to stay, and they are team-wise as in just a good position as the top 3 quarterbacks?
So I think Denver will be there. And I know, even though we're not going to do a top 5, I just say, I think Denver will be there. I think, when is Mahomes going to be back beginning of the season?
So that's another one. He's right now projected anywhere from week 1 to week 5, which Vegas is hedging a lot of bets because Kansas City's got a wide variance in terms of their over-under and teams betting their Super Bowl odds because Mahomes thinks he's going to be back for week 1, but the doctor's the one that has to clear him. So
I think I would have Denver. I would have Denver in that mix. I think I would have Kansas City in that mix. Buffalo, I think, will be in the mix. I think it'll probably be more likely that, in my opinion, that we probably go back to what we've seen. I think the Ravens team is too talented, just overall, to kind of have another year like they had this year, especially if Lamar is healthy.
I agree with that.
So I think I would say the 3 teams, as far as the Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens, I have Denver there. And
who you got more faith in, New England or Jacksonville?
it's tough. Part of part of me want to say New England, like they were just in the Super Bowl. You can't discredit that, regardless of the strength of schedule. It was still NFL football teams. I'll go New England.
All right. Last question, get you out of here. What you already kind of alluded to a little bit, and I think there's a real shot here. And I've been saying all year, and I'm gonna say it all next year. And I've been honest and I've been consistent. I like Chicago. What needs to happen? And if you have even if you want to theorize a trade, because I know obviously DJ Moore has been talked about in some trade talks potentially. What is the one move that needs to happen for the Bears to be in the Super Bowl next year? Which I think they have a real chance to be.
I think we need another pass rusher. Because I don't I think our cornerback play is our not even just cornerback, but our defensive back play overall. Cornerback safety, especially when healthy, I think that's solid. I think we just kind of got to give them a chance as far as getting pressure on the quarterback and giving them a chance to make plays. They showed this season they can make plays, and that was with an injury riddled secondary throughout most of the season, as far as Jalen Johnson being in and out of the lineup, Kyler Gordon being in and out of the lineup. I mean, Deshaun Wright, led the league in I guess total turnovers or whatever, between fumble recoveries and picks, and he was signed to the team to be a depth piece, and he ended up starting a lot of games. So I think health for sure, but I think we need a pass rusher. I think, and I mean, I think whether that's up the middle or on the edge.
John Franklin Myers, Denver's probably not going to re-sign him. He was one of their best. He was probably the second best interior pass rusher next to Zach Allen. Hey, y'all got some cap space. You still got 2 more years to really capitalize on Caleb being like, before you got to throw Caleb $50+ million a year. Take advantage of that rookie quarterback scale. Hey, that Bears Broncos.
Shout out to the quarterbacks in that draft class, man.
I've been on it.
They don't want to hear my rankings.
Look, man, you see, but niggas will hear yours. I'll get side-eyed, cussed out, and fucking cursed.
What's yours right now? Post Super Bowl performance, post last playoff game, the Super Bowl performance. Like,
I got Drake 1, and I'm doing this out of pure respect of like, because I want to make sure that I'm consistent. And so when Bo wins the Super Bowl next year, I just want to make sure that like niggas know, like, I gave Drake his respect when he made the Super Bowl. I had him at 1.
But is it because of his performance?
No,
you remember when the Eagles lost the Super Bowl and Jalen Hurts was and people were saying like, man, Jalen Hurts arguably outplayed Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl, even though the Chiefs won.
Correct. And Drake, this is my thing with Drake, and my rankings potentially it's volatile.
And I ain't got no smoke with Drake, man. Let's start that.
No, like 3 of them, like, so Jaden, Bo, even though Bo didn't play, and Drake have all made it to a conference championship game. They're already within the first 2 years. So I want to give credit for that. Caleb, to me, even though he made the conference championship game, you could argue he lost to the second best team in the league in the Rams this year. Drake, I will give the respect because I do think his shoulder was more messed up like throughout the entirety of the playoffs. I know he didn't play well in the playoffs at all, but I think his shoulder was hurt more than he let on. Will Campbell, he had the MCL surgery and came back, and he played like ass. I do think the Drake May we saw in the regular season is closer to the player we're going to get. So this is not like big gaps. I'm going to give Drake 1 for right now. I got tied for 2 between Bo and Caleb, and that's because we've kind of talked about it throughout the season. Caleb can make throws Bo couldn't make if his life depended on it. That's definitively a fact. He just got arm talent that's out of this world. But when it comes to the underneath stuff, when it comes to the more regular stuff, if Caleb hits that next year and he's around 65%, I would give Caleb the edge. And if Bo start hitting some of his deep throws, which he struggled a lot in the beginning of the season, I'd give him the edge. Then I got Jaden at 3. And Jaden, again, this is why it's so fluid. Jaden could be 1, but right now I'm too scared. He's just fragile at the moment. Like, you coming off injuries, you had injuries in college, even though you had the best rookie season out of everybody, where we stand right now, I'm scared to touch you because you had injury concerns. And then massive fucking gap. I guess I'll go Penix 5, McCarthy 6.
Yeah, we ain't even got to talk about the rest of that.
Those ones, like, but those 4, what we've kind of talked about all season is the best part is like 4 teams who 2 years ago had awful quarterback situations all feel now and can guarantee they got franchise quarterbacks, and that's just better for the league in general. Chicago having a quarterback, Denver having a quarterback, Washington, New England, like, that's better in general than like no one wants to turn on a 1 o'clock game and it's like, who was y'all quarterback 2 years ago? It was post Mitch. Who was throwing the ball?
So you said what, 2 years ago?
2 years ago, like who was last quarterback to throw before Caleb? Like who was y'all trying out there? There you go. See, like, we just, and I like Justin Fields, but like we had seen enough for Justin Fields. We're like, all right, man, this ain't it. Jarrett Stidham was starting real regular season games before like we got Bo. Like, don't nobody want to see Jarrett Stidham again. The Patriots.
So I got
Mac Jones.
I got another question. Are wins and losses quarterback stats?
No, but they have the biggest impact on them. And I think they have the biggest impact in terms of playing poorly impacts. A quarterback playing poorly is the biggest impact on a win or a loss. That Texans-Patriots game is the easiest example to show, like, that Texans defense is amazing. They couldn't do You could have had the 2000 Ravens and the backups been the 85 Bears, and C.J. Stroud would have still lost that game. Like, it was. Is it strictly wins and losses on the quarterback? No, but a loss, they have a disproportionate impact on a loss, especially if they play like ass. So, but I'm not, because Drake did not play great, but he also wasn't so horrible. Like, this New England defense, they put their name on the map. Like, they have an argument if they want to go into this next season and say we one of the best 5 or 6 defenses. And I think Christian Gonzalez has an argument. He's the second best corner. Like, I think that's valid because they carried them to that Super Bowl, and Christian Gonzalez was still balling out. And it was only 9-0. Like, Seattle was dominating, but it was only 9-0 at halftime. Like, the defense did their part to keep them in that game and keep them in this playoff run. But Drake just couldn't make enough plays, and he was fumbling all over the place, and he was getting hit left and right. And it was like Seattle put belt to ass, and it was pretty convincing. After about a quarter of that game, it was like, all right, these two teams ain't the same. And that's coming from a nigga who watched Seattle in the Super Bowl put belt to ass on his favorite team and go, all right, these two teams ain't built the same. Hey, man. Hey, with that being said, catch Will 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Wednesday, Group Chat Podcast. And appreciate you as always, bro. We'll catch you then.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to be a part of one of the coolest, most unique communities, don't forget to like and subscribe.